Supreme Week 18 will be dropping July 2nd. Like this video and subscribe for more Supreme Droplist and resale predictions. The Supreme Motion Logo Tee will be retailing for $38 and reselling for around $120. In my opinion, this is definitely the best tee that they're dropping this week, just because it's the Motion Logo Tee and it's just such a clean logo. Also, the other Motion Logo Tees that are on StockX right now are selling for around $200, so I'd expect this one to be a lot less than that, but still really good resale value. And also, the margins on this one are so good that you can easily make like $50 to $60 per Motion Logo Tee you get. So I would suggest trying to get a bunch of these in a bunch of different carts. Maybe just single cart in each one of them, because you can easily make some money even off the single cart. And maybe trying to get it with some other tees, but that might be kind of risky. Next up, we got the Supreme Shed Rain Checkerboard Umbrella. These are going to retail for $68 and resell for around $100. I wish these were a little bit lower in retail, because I would definitely cop one of these. But since they're at $68, I don't think they'll have that much resale value, just because I don't know who would want to pay more than $100 for an umbrella. I don't really know how much umbrellas are, but I don't really think anyone would want to pay $100 for an item you use maybe 20 times a year and you don't like wear on a normal basis. I just feel like it's kind of a weird accessory to buy for like a lot of money, but that's just my opinion, and I just don't think it'll resell for that much more. So I wouldn't try to go for this one for resale, but there definitely is still some resale value if you get in a multi-cart with a bunch of different other items. Next up, we got the Supreme Lizard Tee. These are going to retail for $38, resell for around $80. I think this is probably one of the other better tees in the drop, just because there's a fat Supreme spell out, and like the lizard is, I don't know, it's kind of a unique little graphic there. I definitely think this will resell for a good amount, but since this one isn't as hyped as the Motion logo, you shouldn't just single cart it, because this definitely won't sell out that quickly. You can definitely have a little bit of time to get it and get some other items in that cart. So I would suggest going for this one and some of the other hype tees in one cart. Maybe look for 2 or 3 in one cart, and then just check out and just get some more and just keep getting a lot of tees. Next up, we got the Supreme Mesh Panel Water Short. These are going to retail for $110 and resell for around $150. In my opinion, these are one of the better water shorts they've dropped in a while. I feel like it just looks pretty nice, and it just has, I don't know, a better like look than a lot of these other water shorts. And it has some good branding on either side, just because they got this Supreme stripe down the side. So I definitely feel like a lot of people want these. I definitely think it could resell for even like $180 off the jump. So I would 100% suggest going for these in a multi-cart, but not just going for them on a single cart, because they might not do that well, but they definitely will have some resale potential. Next up, we got the Supreme Anno Domini Tee. This one's going to retail for $38 and resell for around $70. In my opinion, this is not the greatest design, but it does have some fat Supreme spellouts. So I definitely think a lot of people will want this one, just because they want that Supreme spellout. Isn't that the whole point of buying Supreme? So I definitely say there's some good resale value on this one, but I would suggest carting it with some of the other tees, maybe the Marble Tee, maybe the Social Tee, maybe the Lizard Tee. Just put those all in one cart and try and check out with that. If that doesn't work, rip. But if not, you'll definitely have a lot of profit, because these ones won't be profitable by themselves, but if you can get them in a multi-cart with other tees, then they definitely will be profitable. Next up, we got the Supreme Serape Blanket. These are going to retail for $108 and resell for around $130. In my opinion, this one's not going to resell for that much, because I don't really know how big it is. I think it's pretty big, but I just don't understand who's paying more than like $130, $150 for a blanket. So I just don't think this one will do that good in resale. It might be a cool like item to have, but I just don't think a lot of people want this for themselves, just because it's not the greatest design either. Like, it definitely is kind of cool, but it just has like a little Supreme spell out down the middle, and like, I don't know, I just don't really like it that much, and I don't think other people like really think it could resell at the price it's at now. Next up, we got the Supreme Marble Tee. These are going to retail for $38 and resell for around $70. In my opinion, this is definitely one of the cooler tees. I definitely like it more than the Anno Tee, but I just think it's one of the better ones, just because it's got a lot of Supreme like spell outs, and it's got a logo on the front and the back. I feel like that's also kind of like a better design in my opinion. And I feel like you're getting more bang for your buck because there's a design both on the front and the back. So like if someone's walking by, they can see the Supreme spell out because that's all that people care about nowadays. So I would definitely suggest carding this one with some of the other tees because you'll definitely make a lot of profit on this. Next up, we got the Supreme Social Tee. These are going to retail for $38, resell for around $65 to $70. In my opinion, this is probably the worst tee out of all of them, but it's like the least designed tee out of all of them. It's literally just a social security card with Supreme branding on it, so I feel like it's kind of weird. But it definitely is alright, and I feel like Supreme's already done these things where they take like normal like government objects, they just put their own branding on it like they did with the dollar bill. They've done it with some of these other things. So I definitely think it's kind of like a Supreme type thing to do this. So I definitely think there is a lot of value there, but I just don't think there's that much because it's not the greatest design in my opinion. Next up, we got the Supreme Split Tee. These are going to retail for $44, resell for around $70. In my opinion, this just isn't the greatest shirt. Like, a lot of people were saying, oh, it could be like the killer tees, but I just don't see the same value as the actual killer tees. The Ichi the Killer, it just isn't like the same hype, and I feel like the graphics on these aren't the greatest. Like, they are kind of cool, but they're just like, it's like a guy split open. Who really wants to wear that on a shirt? Like, the killer ones were like people pointing guns at each other, which I feel like is a lot cooler of a graphic than just a guy like split open, because I feel like there's not really any design in that. Next up, we got the Supreme Pitbull Tee. These are going to retail for $38, resell for around $60. In my opinion, I feel like this could be a lot better of a design, but I feel like the camo kind of just throws it off. So I'm thinking other colorways will do better, especially if they have like a tie-dye one. If you see any tie-dye colorway, I would suggest copying it immediately because those resell for a ton of money. So for this one, I just think there's a lot better colorways than this camo one. I feel like it's only hated on just because of the camo colorway. I feel like a lot of the other colorways will do a lot better than this camo one. Next up, we got the Supreme Ichi the Killer long sleeve tee. These are going to retail for $52 and resell for around $65. I don't really like this one at all, and I feel like long sleeve tees just for any Supreme thing don't really have that much resale value. Even if they're like nice looking, there's just not that much value in them. So I don't think this one will resell for that much, and I wouldn't suggest going for resale just because there's a lot higher of a retail price and there's not that much hype around it. So I don't think there will be that much resale value in getting this one, so I would try and stay away from this and just focus on the short sleeve tees. Next up, we got the Supreme Guevara rayon short sleeve shirt. This one's going to retail for $148 and I think resell for around $180. I feel like the rayons kind of sell for a lot more than some of these other tees, and I feel like there's a lot more hype around like the rayons, especially when they have people on them. And I feel like this Che rayon definitely has a lot of hype around it just because Che is kind of like a revolutionary figure, and like this portrait of him is kind of like known around the world as one of the most famous photos in existence just because he was known in so many different things, and he's part of like the Cuba Revolution, and he's part of all these other things. And I think there's a lot of like people that would want to wear this tee just for Che or just for the Supreme branding, so I feel like there's a lot of hype on both sides. Next up, we got the Supreme 1994 Terry short sleeve top. These are going to retail for $88 and resell for around $100. I feel like this is kind of a cool top, but it's just a purple tee, but there's like actual like the logos like embroidered in it, I think. I don't really know if they're embroidered or they're just on the tee, but you can't really see them from afar, so I feel like a lot of the people who just want Supreme tees for the Supreme branding are going to stay away from this one. So I don't see any resale value. I think it might be kind of a cool top to wear, but I just don't see any resale in it, so I would try and stay away from this unless you want it for a personal. Next up, we got the Supreme Lenticular visor cam cap. These are going to retail for $54 and resell for around $70. Supreme had been killing it with the hats this year, but this is not it, and I don't think a lot of people actually like this one. So I think the resale value isn't that good. Maybe $70, maybe less. I just would stay away from it unless you're trying to get it in like a multi cart, because these are not good looking at all. Next up, we got the Supreme Nameplate Crusher. These are going to retail for $54 and resell for around $70. As I said with the last one, Supreme had been killing it with the Crusher and the hat game before, but this is not it. This just doesn't look good at all, and I don't think anyone wants it for like the personal. So I don't think there'll be really any resale value. It might do less than 70, it might be at like 60. So I wouldn't suggest copying this one at all. So unless you want it for a personal, which I don't know who wants this for a personal. So I would just stay away from this one no matter what. Last but not least, we got the Supreme Velour tank top. This is going to retail for $78 and resell for $75. I don't know what to say about this one, but this is so ugly. I would just stay away from it no matter what, because I don't think anyone wants this for the personal, because who wears tank tops and who wears a super ugly tank top either way. So just stay away from this. This won't resell. No one wants for a personal either. Alright, if you want to join a really good Discord for free, there's a link in the description to my Discord. In my Discord, we got monitors, we got slots, we basically got everything, and I think it's just a really good community to join, and especially because it's free. Like with anything that's free, you can just get it, or you could leave. So with something that's free and provides actual value, you kind of have to join it. So also, you can leave whenever you want. So if you don't like it, you don't like the notifications anymore, you can just leave. But since it's something that's free, it's not like you wasted anything on it. So join the group. There's a link in the description. There's a lot of information in there. We got basically everything in there. Anything you could want sneaker-wise, it's in there. And we got monitors. We got everything you'd want. If you're a sneaker reseller, if you're just any kind of reseller, we got monitors, we got slots, we got a marketplace, we got tickets, we got everything. Anything you can want, we got it.